Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Satisfactory 1.2. All right, in the last episode, we got our steel production factory all built out here. And so now in this episode, what we're going to focus on is one, we're going to upgrade our coal power plant so it produces double the amount of electricity that it's currently producing. So instead of 1.2 gigawatts, it's going to produce 2.4 gigawatts. And we can do that because we've unlocked the Mark II miners and also the Mark III belts. So we're able to upgrade that. And then after we upgrade our coal power plant, we're going to go ahead and start building our versatile framework. We're going to start building our versatile framework factory, which entails building roads from our steel factory here to the main factory over there. So we're going to build out roads for our tractors and trucks to drive on and to load, unload materials that we need. And so, yeah, let's get to it. And another thing too, when we're upgrading our power plant, we may want to also upgrade our power transmission. So we want to get the power lines that go a lot further than just the Mark I power pools. So before we upgrade our power plant, I just want to come here first, go to tier 4. I want to, so we have the blueprints would be very helpful, because what you could do is you could just build it. You could build out like a design and then just be able to place like a blueprint down instead of like individual machines with their splitters and vergers and stuff. You'll see what I mean when we start doing it, but the blueprint are definitely useful, but we won't unlock them now. What I want is the power transmission or the expanded power infrastructure, so that we get power storage, 100 megawatts for 1 hour. Oh, nice. That'd actually probably be pretty helpful in case we run out of power for something. But what I really want are these power towers, and so I'm gonna go ahead and select that. Already have some of the materials here to build it. Okay, we got our beams now, so that should be the last thing this needs. And there we go. Extended power infrastructure unlocked. But I do need to go back to the steel factory so I can unlock this. We'll get another hand equipment slot, so that would actually be really nice to have. Oh, we can unlock this and then get the vehicle. I don't know, we seem to traverse well on our own. Oh, we might actually be able to get this. That would be good to get smokeless powder, and then that'll allow us to unlock the rifle, but the rifle needs motors and rubber, which we probably have just by exploring. Yeah, so we have 100 rubber. All right, we're back at the coal power plant. So what I want to do first is actually expand out the foundations. Okay, we expanded out our foundation here so we can add more coal generators. What I'm also going to do is just replace the walls on each side here and replace them with a door. So now we're on the logistics floor here. We still need to do the oh my god, we need to do the power generator floor. I don't know, it's just so hard for me to remember. So hard for me to remember the names of all this stuff, Okay, so I removed some of these walls here so we can access the foundation here. I just want to make it the same size as the logistics floor. And just like on this side here, let's also just remove a few of these and then get the foundations. I'm going to use the fix it stuff. The fix it foundation. And of course, that's not enough space. It's always a good idea just to start from the top here. Push the H button, nudge it down. And then work your way down like so. Much easier. Now that way we're able to get to the top here. All right, there we go. 16 more generators. Just going to go ahead and add the power poles. And then we also need to add the holes again and for the pipes and for the conveyors. All right, our new generators are set up. We got power poles set up. We got the pipes and the conveyor holes and conveyor lifts all set up here. So should be pretty much set up to expand our generators here. The next thing I want to do is go ahead and build out 4 more water extractors out here. So that way we can bring in water. And you want to make sure that your water extractors here have the same configuration as before. So just make sure we're doing 90 cubic meters per minute or 75% clock speed. All right, we got our generators here. So again, we don't want to take, we don't want to start connecting water pipe to the generators. We want to go from the generators down to the water extractors. So that'll make it easier to figure out how to align everything. All right, so what we want to do is use these conveyor lifts and bring them down here so we can start aligning our splitters. It's just doing it this way just makes it easier than trying to like eyeball it. All right, and we'll just add our splitters here. I'm gonna align it with this wall hole here. So pretty sure this needs to be a Mark II. So okay, that's aligned. We're good there. Okay, actually we don't need to replace the lifts. We need them there because we need to attach our belts. All right, the pipes on the logistics floor, actually the whole logistics floor is pretty much completed here for the expanded factory. I do need to figure out a way to connect power to these pumps, but these should be ready to go. All right, so the last thing that we need to do is bring the pipes down to our water generators over here. You might be asking, okay, how do we do that? Because we already have pipes in the way here. So what you can do, because we unlocked them, go to logistics, there should be the stackable pipeline supports. And you should just be able to nudge these in on top of these pipes here. Like that, and then add the pipes. There you go. And just do that for the other ones. And then also make sure to include the pumps on these as well. We're at 75%. Maybe one of these other extractors. Is this extractor doing more? Yeah, this is why. This is the problem. Yep, so again, just make sure everything is underclocked and configured appropriately. All right, all of our pipes are connected up. And again, we just want to make sure our configurations are correct here. That for the new extractors, not the old ones. Because the old extractors, they weren't working right. So just want to double check these. All right, all of our water extractors are configured properly. Now let's just get some power, hook them up, start filling up the power plant with water, or the new coal generators with water. All right, we got water pumping into our new generators. And as the pipes are filling up, we'll go ahead and upgrade our belts here. All right, starting with this, we'll go ahead and upgrade to Mark III. Now we want to upgrade our miners. And then make sure we're doing 240. So we're doing 120 here. So we'll need to overclock this, so we're doing 240 like that. And we need to replace this with a Mark III. Just like that. Okay, so now, as you can see, we have that wall here, so we want to add a splitter. And I may have shot myself in the foot here, because we don't have enough room. Okay, so now we could split the coal. And I just want to make sure this is aligned to the center here. And then we could use a Mark II for this. There we go. And actually we could change this back to a Mark II as well. Now these are going to get backed up pretty quickly, so we need to be quick here and figure out where to split this. Holy crap, why does it keep... Can we split it here? Yes, barely. And we just need a Mark II. Come down here. And that could be a Mark II. Alright, so our new generator should be getting coal and water now. We just want to make sure that they're full of coal and water before we connect the power. Geez, we still don't even have water in these yet. Like, we got a little trickle coming in. All my water extractors are... Oh. Well, for one, these aren't connected. That might be a problem. Yeah, now these are starting to fill up. And while those are filling up, we could just do some cosmetic stuff here. All right, we got ourselves a nice roof and did some other cosmetic things. We got a door that takes us to the other generator room, which is really loud. But let's see how these are doing. Are we nice and full of water yet? Coal there. What about coal? Coal and water, 100. Coal and water, 100. All right, so to make sure things don't get backed up, we should start turning these on. All right, we doubled our electricity capacity. Now we're now producing 2.4 gigawatts. So there we go. We just want to keep an eye on these. Give it a minute. And keep your eye on these. So that's a good time to do like cosmetic stuff. And we just want to make sure we're still getting coal, we're still getting water, and everything's doing all right. All right, seems to be things are running smoothly. Again, we'll do a little bit of cosmetic stuff, and then, yeah, just check on everything again to make sure everything's running smoothly. All right, we did a little bit of cosmetic work here. I just want to go back up to the generators here and just double check that everything's running smoothly. Nice, looks like we got hundos everywhere. You love to see it. You love to see it. That is one big looking power plant. Very nice. And then we can always come back and fix the cosmetics up a little bit. I'm just going to leave this like this for now. Mostly because I don't think I have silica. Yeah, I don't have silica for the windows. So you can always come back and add more cosmetic stuff to your coal plant here. But yeah, I'm just going to leave it like this. still pretty dope. It's pretty dope that we just made this massive thing and it's producing 2.4 gigawatts of electricity for us. All right, so now what I want is a more like concrete power transmission using these guys. All right, so I want to get one of these double outer wall outlets. Put it like that. Right there. Okay, and then you can... I think what you can do is push 2. Click on that. Or maybe not. Won't let you build another power pole? That seems odd to me. Oh, there we go. You just have to click on the top of it. And then you can... And then what we want to do is just figure out where to put these ones. Alright, so now let's just figure out a good place to put these. And these are going to be pretty much temporary locations for these until I find a more concrete solution. Alright, we'll put that up here. Just need to nudge it because it's kind of hard to figure out where this needs to go. There we go. And now this can act as our main power source from the pole plant instead of these power poles over here. But all right, let's just connect the power back somewhere right there. Why isn't this getting any power? That's... Oh my gosh. So that's probably why we're not getting any power. There, finally. I don't want to disconnect this line just yet because that's connected to our... Ugh! I don't want to connect this line yet because this is still connected to our steel factory. So I'm going to still keep this connected, but we're going to also bring these power transmission lines over to the steel factory next. Okay, so I also want... They'll permit me these transmission lines going this way to our steel production plant or factory. Actually, might be a good idea to put one right here for our Caterium factory as well. Why can't I talk today? What is going on? And I want to come to the right side of the factory here. So this is out of the way of the roads and stuff that we're going to be building. We'll make this prettier later. Right now, I just want this connected. I'll make sure this has power. And now we can finally get rid of our old power lines. Okay, old power poles are finally gone. I think, at least from the, at least to the steel factory. All right, we are finally upgraded. Our power plant's upgraded. We got these upgraded power poles. What are they called? Power towers. Which is great because we can now, what we could do is unlock the zip line and could zip line through these. I'm not a huge fan of the zip line, but if you can get the zip line, you could easily go to the coal power plant if you need to. Okay, so I want to be able to get blueprints unlocked. So let's add the resources for that. I'm gonna need some more modular frames. Yeah, I should have been feeding more plate and force iron plate and rods into that, and I haven't been doing that. And you can move your stuff from the dimensional depot into your inventory if you need to do this. All right, that's blueprints ready to go. The last thing is going to be hyper tubes, which are really fun. All right, so in order to produce these versatile frameworks, we need 12 steel beams and one modular frame. So what we want to do is come up with a more permanent solution than this to produce our modular frames. This is just temporary. This was just temporary so we can make our foundries and stuff in the steel factory, but now we want a bit of a more permanent solution. So what I want to do, so in this area, this is where I want to produce that factory. All right, so these machines over here are already are needed to produce our reinforced iron plate and also rotors as well. We could probably stop making the smart plate here because we got tons now. So yeah, essentially we still need these nodes in order to make our plates and whatnot. And now that we have the smart splitter, what we could do is, I don't know, yeah, we can get rid of that now and get a smart splitter. Put it there, and then and then this will be overflow. We'll just do Mark IIs all around here. We can also put a smart splitter here. In front of these rods. And then this will be overflow again. Connect that there. So hopefully that makes these machines run a little bit more smoothly. All right, well, it's a new day for me in real life. I did some exploring and I was able to find some more of these turbo motors. Now, if you're playing this game and you're following along with me and not using the save games, I definitely urge you to definitely explore around and to find these things, because this is how you find the Mercer Spheres, the Somersloops, and the hard drive. So definitely make sure that you are exploring around and you're gathering up all these things. But anyways, I'm going to throw those turbo motors into our awesome sink so we can get some more coupons. Then that's, so print those coupons. And I think I've been shoving those in here. All right, cool. Well, back to making our versatile framework factory, or this side here. So what I think I'm going to actually do is I'm going to take some iron from these miners here. So we need about 120, I think, iron in order to do this. So I think we'll be able to take some iron out from here from these miners. We just need to overclock them a little bit. How much are they producing now? They're even idling because they're producing too much anyways. So yeah, they're doing 60 per minute. So we could definitely borrow some stuff from that. So what I'm going to do is kind of just expand outwards like this for our versatile framework factory. Now, another thing I have to consider too is, where is the road going to come from the steel factory for my trucks? I'm thinking maybe what we should do is just have like a truck station in the front here, and we'll run conveyors underneath this floor here for like our steel products, because we need steel beams in order to make these versatile frames. So Anywho, let's get to building this versatile framework factory, and then we'll kind of figure out where we need our truck station. Right here's fine. And we'll get the Mark 1. We'll just take it all the way up to the ceiling here. So what we could do like underground conveyors. Uh-oh, this is probably going to get in the way. That's okay, it's just for cosmetics anyways. What we could do is probably put a splitter here. Bring our conveyor up the ceiling like that. All right, and then, you know, we don't necessarily want to build the belts yet until we have the whole factory built out. So we don't want to make the same mistake. And I'm just gonna do vertical like this to make it pretty. Yeah, we don't want to make the same mistake of doing the belts before we even have the factory, and then everything's misaligned. So, all right. So I think versatile frameworks need to be made in assemblers. So let's build an assembler real quick, and let's just see what we need. So it needs 2.5 modular frames per minute, and then 30 steel beams per minute. All right, and the modular frames need 12 iron rod and 3 reinforced iron plate. So basically, we just need the same setup that we did over here for our to get the smart plate, except now we're going to be building versatile frameworks that need steel. So here's where I want the iron to come out from, and then we'll have like a splitter here. So I kind of want one smelter here, actually. And another smelter here. Kind of space them out a little bit. So then I'll have a hole for the iron right here. Get a splitter. And I'm pretty sure these need 30 ingots per minute. Yep. So if we get 60 from here. And if we split them evenly, that'll be 30. Just like before. Put one there. Put one there. Feed in our belts. These are 1-to-1, so these need 30 ingots. So yeah, these are going to pretty much eat up our ingot production here. So let's put a merger down here with the output pointing to the left there. I don't know if I need a storage facility yet, but anywho. So I'm going to get a couple more smelters here. Got one. I'm going to do pretty much the same thing as I did over here. So just give them one foundation of space here. All right, so this will be for screw and iron rod production. Take this out. I want these constructors aligned. Or I want this constructor aligned with the splitter like that. So that it looks pretty. I want it to look pretty. Okay, this is going to be rottage. And I think these are going to be dedicated for screws. Because to make the reinforced iron plate, you need screws and iron plate. So since these are next to the iron plate, we want to do that. And then we want more rods here as well. All right, cool. So we can use a merger to combine these together to make 30 and then split them immediately and kind of load balance them. and load balance them among 3 screw machines. Screw machines, man. They suck. And then, yeah, I want a splitter. I'm going to put the splitter, in the center. Okay. We want constructor again. I'm going to align it to this splitter. And we'll do that, and then do that. All right, now we're nice and load balanced, so we should be getting... Well, these are rods. I don't want these to be screws. So let's change the recipes. And then again, Control C to copy the setting, and Control V to paste the setting into the machine, just like that. So this is all stuff we've seen so far. So far, that is. The biggest thing that we're gonna need to do is gonna be our truck station, or truck thingamajig depot. Why do I always not? Why does my vocabulary suck right now? Truck stations. That's what they're called. Jeez, man. It's been a long day. It's Tuesday. It's not even Friday yet. But the thing is, I could just remove that constructor, right? So I only need... This makes 80 screws per minute. And if I lock these down to do just 30, I only need 7.5. Since these are making 7.5, this is making 7.5, or it needs 7.5 iron rods, and that's pumping out 15 to make 30 screws. Then we only need just one constructor here, iron rod constructor. But we can merge these together so we can get 15. We'll do it like this. That should work. And then we can put our reinforced iron plate. It'll take a while for the buffer to actually store. We'll just place it right there. And then later we could have like a smart splitter that will split this. That will split this up. And then the extra... Like, we could split it up here, and then the extra iron plates can go off to an awesome sink. Okay, so we need another assembler. Like so. Then I should be able to just put that all the way down there. And then I'll just... You can just snake this around, maybe. We'll go like this. And we'll go over here. It's a little janky, but it works. Okay, and this needs to be modular frames. 166.6666667. Okay, so then we get 5 per minute there, so which is exactly what we need for from the reinforced iron plate, or that's how much reinforced iron plate we're making from this guy. So we won't have leftovers there. But we need 20 iron rod, and this only pumps out 15. But we got iron rod over here. And so what we could do is merge these guys together. Okay, we can put a smart splitter here. And so if our rods start backing up, we can either put them in storage or in an awesome sink. Kind of like just with our extra metal plate over here. The question is, where do we put the awesome sink? Let's just put it here for now. And then we'll just configure the smart splitter that this will be overflow. Because I still don't know what we could do with... I don't even know if we want iron rods there. We could do more iron plate or something. And actually, you know what? I'm going to do underground here just because I can. Do underground here. Do an underground here. And we'll just underground these things. Just need to change the recipe again. Make sure... What was this? 166? 667. Well, I need to put power shards in there. 166.667. Yep, that works. All right, cool. So now I definitely want to store some of these modular frames. So I want to use the actual... I want to use the industrial storage here. This will be kind of like temporary. Oh, of course, I'm missing steel beam. I need to make more dimensional depots. I should be able to make some more since I got some more Mercer Spheres by exploring. All right, let's try this again. All right, so that'll store a good chunk of modular frames. Then we'll have an underground here. And then we'll get assembler. We're going to align this to one of these conveyor holes. Like that. We'll just shove that in there. And we'll have two undergrounds. One will be for the modular frames. One will be for the steel beams. That should work. Now I'm just going to connect these foundations together. And then we'll start on the truck stations. All right, we'll put our first truck station there. All right, so now by doing it this way, if we need more truck stations, we can expand it out. Okay, so now with the truck station, should be our output. So we'll just put that there. All right, I guess now what we ought to do is connect power to this. And again, the reason why I'm making these lanes wide like this is so I can fit the bigger trucks coming through here. So that's why. All right, so now comes the daunting task of hooking up our main road. That I guess we'll start here. And we got to go all the way to the steel factory over there. Fun stuff. Now we just need to figure out where to put the main road. That makes sense. And I'm actually going to build out the highway off camera, and then I'll show it to you guys when I come back. Because you don't really want to see me building out a road for an hour, do you? I didn't think so. So I'll come back when the main road is all done and we're connected to the steel factory. All right, my dudes, we got ourselves some roads. Or we got ourselves a big main road here. So the road is 3 foundations wide. I'm using the asphalt, and then I'm using the concrete barriers on the side here. And then for the dotted line, you unlock that on the Awesome Sync. I mean, not Awesome Sync, the Awesome Shop. And you go to patterns. I'm using the center dotted line here. So yeah, we got a nice big road going from our main base to the steel factory over here. And it makes traversing the map so much easier. I also included this just in case we wanted like a power pole or something there. One of these big transmission lines. But yeah, this is our road. And I'm not sure, this may be a bad idea here, but I wanted to make it like perfectly clear that you're going in this way, you're coming out that way, but this may come bite me in the butt later if I want to expand the road out this way, but I probably don't. The only thing that's out there is the Caterium factory, and I don't know if I need to like you know, bring a road out there or not. Maybe, because there's also a pure limestone node out there So we may need to bring the road out here to get like some more concrete and the deuterium wire as well. But for now, we're okay. Unless there's like a necessity for it, not going to build it out. So now we just need a way to get steel pipes from our, not steel pipes, but steel beams from our steel factory to our main factory there. And so what we need is these tractors. Hopefully I could build one. Nope, of course not, because I need modular frames. So let me grab some modular frames. I'll be right back. Okay, so now we could build the tractor, and let's, actually before I build the tractor, I need coal. So let me grab some coal. I don't know if those biofuel things work. If they do, they burn, the tractors will burn through them pretty good. But I have 100 coal right here. All right, so I'm just gonna put a tractor down like meow. So Ada's gonna say her thing.
Can use any type of fuel and have a self-driving feature, much like Pioneer's, only more reliable.
Oh, you can put solid
Set your
biofuel in
path
it,
up in advance
but
using the
coal's probably
vehicle
gonna last
path
a lot
tools and your
longer.
build.
All right, so I think if we, yeah, Q does that, but we want to let's see, what do we want to do? This is different than what we got in 1.1. Okay, this is completely, yeah, they completely changed this, how they did it in Satisfactory 1.1. All right, so before I build my path here the new way, I guess. Oh, make it. Yeah, before I build my new path, or before I make the route, I just want to make sure that our stations are configured correctly. So coming back to the steel factory here, I just want to make sure these are set to load the tractors, and then and then in the main base, I want to make sure that truck station that we got unloads things. So just want to double check that. So this is load. So that's correct. So all these should be load. That one's load. Okay, cool. Okay, so I just want to, where's my steel beams? I think it's this one, number 2. But again, I want to make sure our station at the main base is set to unload. And then you get to see me fumble around the pathing thing because I've never used this before. I used the manual one back in Satisfactory 1.1, so it's going to be new to me. But yeah, apparently if you go to the Q menu, there's tractor path and universal path. And it creates this like hologram for you. So yeah, we'll play around with that here shortly. I have no idea how it works. No idea. Okay, this needs to be set to unload. We want to unload our steel beams there. I don't know if I need to be at a station. Oh, okay. The turning radius is not great. So we set that there. Oh, I see. Okay. Interesting. This is a walkthrough, guys. This is a walkthrough. All right, I think number 2 is our Steely Boy. Steel Beam. Let's do it like that, I guess. Is everybody having fun? Everybody having fun watching me do this? Are you like screaming your head off on I'm doing it wrong? Maybe. We'll see. I wonder after I'm done with this, we can name it. I mean, I guess that works. We'll see. We're only going to have one truck for now, so it's not like too worried about it. There's probably a trick to this. This is a brand new mechanic to me, so I don't know what I'm doing is correct. We'll start our turn here, actually. I guess that works. It doesn't need to be pretty, right? Okay, I got a vehicle path. Cool. So what does that mean? Vehicle path. There's even a crafting bench? Wow. Current route, available stations. What do I do with this? I guess maybe we need to name the truck station. So this would be steel beam, main base steel beam. Main base steel beam. Okay. So if I hop into this, main base to truck station. Dude, I don't know. What the hell, man? Why did they have to change this? Why couldn't they keep the regular thing? This is great. Autopilot status, too few stations. Dude, what the fuck? I don't know what to do. This is just perfect. I could see my freaking path. Why can't I see my paths now? What the Why did they have to change this? I don't understand why they had to change this. Steel factory. Steel beams. And I don't know how to do these pause menus now. We connect that. We're supposed to connect it directly here, right? Oh, we didn't connect it to the pauses here. That's why. Maybe that's why? I don't know. I don't know what to do. Oh, here we go. Frickin' finally. All right, let's see if this actually works. Man, that was frustrating to try to figure that out. Yeah, I don't know if that's actually going to work for the trucks. The trucks may need more room. Well, we'll see. Yeah, that definitely is going to take some getting used to. Oh, that loaded the whole tractor. Wow. Okay, it was a little frustrating at first, but apparently you just gotta like drive the tractor around, I guess, for it to see the stations. Not really sure what happened there. That was just kind of weird. All right, we'll just let that thing do its thing. All right, we got steel beam in there. So that's how you get steel beam from the steel factory over to the main base. It was kind of frustrating, but yeah, it's going to take some time to get used to that mechanic because that was very strange. But anyways, let's finish up what we're doing here. Let's get all these connected up, get the power connected up to all of our machines here. We need to get all the conveyors connected. So yeah, these guys connected. Just like that. And then we're doing versatile frameworks. Okay. Now we just need to go below deck here. Start connecting things up down there. Just do that. Actually, let's move this like so. And we'll just move the belt. Do that. And then that should go in there. There we go. And we need to remember to overclock these. Let's see. And then the next coal over here. Actually, let's see. Follow this down. And we'll disconnect. All right, that works. Okay, we got some iron going through the conveyors here. Okay, so I think this is our reinforced iron plate. Yeah, so this is supposed to be an output. This is supposed to be an input. So why isn't it not working like that? And this is an input. And this should be an output. There we go, finally. Goes in there. And this is our output. Goes that way. We'll come this way over here. Just like that. All right, now we just need to connect power, overclock the miners down here. We'll put a pole here, actually. And we'll connect that. Oh, wow, this is already full. All right, power is connected. So now we just need to overclock the miners, which means we need to upgrade this to a Mark II. Upgrade this to a Mark II, that to a Mark II. And then we need to overclock this guy. Okay, we got reinforced iron plate being made. Why are you yellow? Are we not getting enough iron ore? That seems to be fine. Yeah, I don't know why we're not getting... Like, we're getting a good amount here. Like we're supposed to. Oh, now we're getting a good amount. I guess it took some time. Yeah, I still need to figure out what to do with these iron rods. Now we don't actually need this assembler making modular frames for us anymore. And look at that, we got 12 versatile frames already into the thingamabob. Space elevator. You know, the thing that does the stuff. Alright, I guess what we'll do is we'll just line up our awesome sink here like so. Get a merger. That. Do that. Got a Mark III in there. And this will be for iron plate. When that gets all backed up. So let's see. 6. We want a smart splitter. That. Overflow that way. Be a little spaghettified here, but it is what it is. And I think also I have these, yeah, I have these stackable dealies. Think about like a couple stacks here to make it look like, you know, the conveyor belt's not just hovering in the air. Just put that in place there. There we go. And yep, awesome sink needs some electricity. Ooh, we already made 3 coupons already. Nice. There goes our little tractor. So cool. I'm glad I was able to get that to work. Took some doing, but you know, it all worked out in the end. Yeah, so in the steel factory here, one thing that I found out was that the splitter wasn't working. It wasn't actually putting anything in the awesome sink. So I had to redo the splitter here. I mean, I got it working now, but if you're using one of my save games or the save game from the previous episode, just be aware that this splitter needs to be redone. The smart splitter, that is. All right, I'm just gonna check and see if there's anything, what else we can unlock here. I know I didn't make the blueprint thing. Maybe we could build that later because we'll definitely need it for what we're gonna do in the next episode, which is make these, whatchamacallit, automatic wiring or cable. What is that called actually? Automated wiring, yeah. So for the automated wiring, we're going to need to make our motor factory because in order to make the auto wiring, you need stators. But since we're going to be making stators, we might as well also be making motors because we'll be needing motors for the oil production stuff. So yeah, in the next episode, we're going to be building our motor factory and we're going to be building it somewhere in this area over here because there should be iron nodes and copper nodes in order for us to make that. So that's what we'll be doing next episode. Well, let's see if we can unlock this hyper tool tubules. I need encased industrial beams. There we go. Hyper tool tubes ready for launch. All right, everybody. Well, we got the versatile frameworks in production. It's being fed into the space elevator. We need 1,000 of them, and we haven't even done a tenth of that yet. So it's going to take a while for us to get enough of those versatile frameworks to complete phase 2, but also remember we need to do that automated wiring, which means we need to make stators, which means we're going to make a motor factory in the next episode. So make sure you are subscribed so you know when that episode comes out and you can see what I do there. And also, yeah, if you like the video, go ahead and hit the like button. Your support, I appreciate your support very much. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.